We're very lucky here today, Shane. We have 12 experts in broadband from around Europe, and they're from semi-rural areas like ourselves. And what they're going to bring today, we've given them Donegal as a case study, and we've asked them, how are we going to get very high-speed broadband into Donegal? So they're going to bring experiences from their own region to here. And some of them have very innovative ways of doing things. And as I was saying at the presentation, I remember actually rural electrification in Donegal, up in Inishowen. And I remember when the ESB were coming around and putting up the poles and putting the cables, that the local farmers and the local community came out and gave them a hand. And that way things got done cheaper and they got done faster. And I believe that that's something that we should remember, because if you're going to get very high speed into Donegal, particularly outside the towns, we're going to need fibre cables, and I think they will have to be run out to houses and to farms and to small businesses in the countryside. And if, of course, Eircom and the ESB and the other providers can do it, but it'd be very expensive, because we don't have the density of population that makes it obvious to them that there's a business case there for it.
So one of the things, I had the pleasure of working with BT at the weekend. We were involved in a live streaming for the Other Voices concert that was streamed to BBC, RT, all the different areas. Now, one of the things they have in Northern Ireland, which is just a bordering county to us, they've up to 70 megs through the fibre through the cabinet. Can you see Donegal eventually getting to that stage where Northern Ireland, particularly Derry City, is at the minute?
Yeah, well, I suppose the thing about Derry City is that it is a city. It's a population of over 100,000. So the economics of putting high-speed broadband into Derry are totally different from putting it into a rural place like Donegal. I suppose the nearest in Donegal you have to Derry is Letterkenny. Letterkenny, I suppose, if you take the town and the environs, it's got about 30,000 people. And they will have very high-speed broadband in the next few months. Now, having said that, the Northern Ireland government in the rural parts of Northern Ireland has made a big effort to put high-speed broadband into those parts, and I suppose Donegal has neighbouring borders with the Strabane District Council area and with some of the rural parts of County Derry. So at the moment they would be better off in terms of broadband than we are, but they do have black spots as well. To answer your question, that is the aim for us, that I said at the presentation. I would see that we should set a target of a minimum of 50 to 100 megabits per second in rural Donegal, because if we don't do that, we're going to be left behind. I remember the days whenever people said, a dial-up modem, will give me 56k, and I remember people saying, you wouldn't need any more than that, so that's enough. And now, in most parts of Donegal, we would have, 3 or 4 megabits as a minimum. I know there are parts that don't experience that, but that is not enough now. A typical family with a few children at school, maybe somebody at university, the mother or the father have the possibility to do some remote working. It gives them more flexibility. A lot of government services are going online, so you have to be able to access the internet. Then plus, if you ally that with TV, which is now coming through the internet, very soon you'll find that we need those speeds to be able to just do our business with government, to get educated, and then to do video conferencing with our colleagues. So we're going to need those speeds.
As you say, not only from that point of view, but from all the rural parts, there's a lot of the one-to-one education sector. There's grades now available online through different platforms.
That's right.
Having the proper infrastructure there can actually only help the education, the business, both on all the recreation sector as well.
Oh yeah, of course. As you say, there are tutors now that will give online tuition, and it's, you have the tutor in a particular location, and if they don't have to travel, then obviously they can tutor more children. That also happens in the medical field as well. There's a lot of discussion in Ireland about lowering the costs of healthcare. We're a fairly small country by international standards, and then any consultants or medical experts that we have, we shouldn't be using their time badly by making them travel to different parts of the country, or indeed having patients to travel to them. So you can do a lot of good work. If the consultant is in one place and he can interact with patients in Letterkenny or Sligo or Derry, or you can get through a lot more patients, and you can bring a lot of very good high quality medical advice to the point where it's most needed.
More or less just bulking up the infrastructure. Again, that could avail from your standard GP office there in rural parts. You can come in on your phone, laundry, all in different areas. What do you hope to achieve from this conference today?
Well, what we've actually done is Donegal is a big place. So what we've done is we've taken a subset of Donegal in the west around Weedore, Aaronmore and the Rosses, roughly speaking. And we're given as much information as we have on the existing broadband infrastructure to this group of experts. And that includes whatever fibres there, the location of the telephone exchanges, whatever 3G or mobile masts are there. We're also giving them the location of the houses where the people are living. And what we would like at the end of today, we would like them to say to us, based on their own experience from their own rural areas, this would be a kind of solution that could work in this area. What we will do then is we will extrapolate that to cover all of Donegal and indeed to rural parts just across the border in Derry and Strabane. And after that then we would like government to listen to us about this particular solution. The government is going to put money into broadband in places like Donegal. So we would hope that by carrying out this exercise we'll be a little bit further down the road, and we'll be able to give them a concrete case on which to spend some of their money.
Just remind us now on the calibre of some of the people that's here today from other sectors in Europe, from other broadband sectors, communication sectors.
Yeah, we for example have representatives for a community-based company which was established by the local authority in a fairly remote part of Finland, where the population is even more sparse than it is here. And what this company have done is that they have laid fibre in this particular part of Finland for which they have responsibility, and this fibre goes from the exchanges right into people's houses. So you have fibre optic cable going straight into your house. And I was talking to the manager of that company, a lady called Anne-Marie Lipponen, who's here today, and in her particular house she has a choice at the one time of 5 different telecom providers. So it would be like having Aircom, BT, Vodafone, etc., all into your house at the one time, and for different services and at different times of day you can switch to different suppliers, and you get a minimum of 100 megabytes per second into your rural standalone house in Finland. So she's an example of the type of expert that we have here today, and they'll be advising us how they did it, and we'll be discussing that with the community development section of Donegal County Council, with the operators, to see if that model could work in Donegal. And remember, in Donegal we have still a very good reputation of working together for the good of our communities.
And again, as I say, one of the good things, we've seen the benefits just taking again the Other Voices concert at the weekend. It was streamed 1080p, high definition, 70 megabytes per second. Yeah. The quality was absolutely phenomenal. No glitches, no everything. The quality is streamed into all the different bars. Yeah. Donegal can avail of that too within the next couple of years with the culture and with different concerts that we're having here. So there's no reason why that couldn't happen here.
There's no reason it couldn't happen here, provided we come up with good technical solutions, provided we can work together in our communities with the county council, with government departments, to come up with good sensible solutions. We'll also need a certain amount of money as well from the government, and I know these are straitened times, but the government has put a certain amount of money together to do this, and I think that as a result of today we can come up with some very good solutions which we would hope the government would look at, so that in a few years' time we can have this high-speed streaming instant access with no delays, so that we're in a much better position to export our rich culture, musical culture that we have here, and to interact with the sizable diaspora that we have now all around the world.
Just remind as well, one of the main reasons a lot of the American companies are here is because of infrastructure that's here in Letterkenny.
Yeah, that's right. We have a very good cluster of high-tech companies now in Letterkenny. Like one of the type of business models that these companies are looking at now, more and more, they don't want people to come to Letterkenny to work in their office in Letterkenny. They want people to be able to work from their home, because it reduces costs for them. It offers more flexibility to the employees to look after children, etc., and they don't have to spend the time travelling to Letterkenny. Excuse me, with this type of high-speed network access into people's houses that we're trying to develop here, that will make it easier for companies to come here. It makes the business case for them, you know.